In the past couple of weeks, there's been a real increase of comments made to this channel decrying electric cars and anyone who says that they're the future. Their comments ranging from the frankly obscene to the terribly misinformed or at best misunderstood, and they often centre around how environmentally friendly electric cars are or aren't. Sometimes, however, they revolve around the price of electric cars, often opining that electric cars aren't for regular folks and are the preserve of the rich and wealthy people who really don't need to have their car purchases subsidised by tax incentives or credits. Given it's a comment I hear a lot, I figured it was time to address the issue once and for all. So here we are. Are electric cars affordable or not? I should start by acknowledging that the term affordable is incredibly vague, and its interpretation is wholly down to the individual. What's deemed affordable for one person is cheap by somebody else's standards or incredibly expensive by another. So in order to really evaluate how affordable electric cars are, we need to try and find a benchmark by which we can measure electric car prices. And since used car prices can vary widely, let's compare the price of the average new car to some popular new electric cars on sale today. For that, I'm going to use US new car sales data from Kelley Blue Book and Experian. While these figures are going to vary slightly around the world, they aren't as varied as you might expect. And then I'll compare these figures to some electric cars available today and we'll try to come to a consensus. And remember, we're dealing with average prices, so while there may be cheaper cars out there, we're taking the entire industry and averaging all the different segments and brands to get a final average new car price. Okay, industry figures first. In March, Kelley Blue Book said that the average new car transaction price across all vehicle segments and styles was $35,285. Experian wasn't far off the same figure, stating that the average new car loan in the US in the first quarter of this year was $31,455. If we assume that the average down payment for such a vehicle loan is likely a few $1,000s, well, we're not far off that Kelley Blue Book average figure. It's not just the US either. In the UK, for example, the average new car price is currently hovering around £33,600 sterling, depending on whom you ask. Similar prices exist in every other country I've looked at, something which shows that while people may moan about the price of a new electric car, many new electric cars aren't far off the average price. Take the Nissan LEAF, for example. The entry-level 2018 Nissan LEAF is available in the US for just under $30,000 before any incentives. That's well below the average new car price. In the UK too, it's a similar pound price, with the pre-incentive price of the LEAF's entry-level UK model, the LEAF Centre, costing just shy of 30 grand. That Hyundai Ioniq EV is a similar price to the LEAF in both markets, with the Kia Soul EV costing a little more. But it's still under the average new car price according to current data. In the US, the Chevrolet Bolt EV, meanwhile, is more expensive than the average new car price, starting from $36,620 before incentives. But if we examine the total cost of ownership over the life of the car, something which people are very eager to forget when comparing EV ownership to new internal combustion engine vehicle ownership, that slightly higher MSRP when compared to the new car average soon disappears when you factor in fuel and maintenance costs over a 5 or 10-year ownership period. What of the Tesla Model 3? Well, at nearly $60,000 for the fully spec long-range variant, even more if you opt for the dual motor or performance variants, it's well above the average new car price at the moment. However, the entry-level headline-grabbing Model 3, which Tesla hopes to sell for $35,000, will, like the Bolt EV, be well within that average new car price mark when it finally goes on sale. This is all fine and dandy, however, but for one thing. The average new car price doesn't necessarily equal affordable. Indeed, in recent years, as new car prices have risen across the board, the average new car auto loan has soared, with both interest rates and loan terms increasing by an alarming rate. Not so long ago, the average new car loan was spread out over 36 or 48 months. These days, the average new car loan is spread out over 72 months or in some cases 96 months, resulting in higher interest payments for car buyers and a far higher number of people ending up in negative equity. Add to that an interest rate increase of 31 base points in just 1 year for new auto loans, and it's clear that what we term affordable is actually simply being offset by even crazier auto loans. So are electric cars affordable or not? Well, if you compare them to other new cars and you assume that the buyer is just as happy to finance an electric car the same as they'd finance an internal combustion engine car, then yes. But if you're looking into the nuts and bolts of traditional vehicle affordability based on the average salary, then no. New electric cars aren't affordable, but then neither is the average new car. Yet, like the crazy subprime lending which led to the recession of 10 years ago, so too are lenders offering people auto loans they really can't afford. With new cars out of the question then, is there a way to answer the affordability question with the affirmative? Yes, you bet. Used cars. With more electric cars being leased and most people choosing not to buy at the end of their lease, there's a great number of lower price electric cars coming to market with reasonable odometer readings, because going over mileage on lease is way too expensive for most people to even contemplate. And at that point, many used electric cars that have been well looked after are most certainly just as affordable as similar mileage and aged internal combustion engine vehicles. That's it. As always, hit the notification bell to hear the moment a new show is uploaded. Subscribe to both of our channels, and if you fancy it, support us by using one of the 2 links below or by buying something from our shop. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep evolving.